You're gonna eat what's in your house, so donate those chips and those cookies in your pantry and that tub of ice cream in your freezer, because when we're hungry, we really become less discerning and we're gonna grab whatever is around. So it's really important to build an environment that supports the diet that you want. Don't leave your fridge empty though. Welcome in an abundance of fresh produce. Pick foods that you're excited about and make sure to get enough to meet your caloric needs. Remember that you don't have to say, I'm never gonna have chips again, but simply work by shifting your focus to be primarily on fresh fruits and vegetables. Crowd out junk food by filling your life with fresh food. Once you start to satisfy candy cravings with sweet fruit and salty cravings with mineral-rich vegetables, you're gonna find that eating healthy is gonna be a joy, not a compromise. Be reasonable. Know yourself and your tendencies. Are you somebody who likes to jump in the pool or wade in? Some people can go from burgers to bananas overnight, but for most people it takes time. Be patient and compassionate with how you react to the changes ahead. Be mindful of the self-talk that arises when you face dietary-related challenges. When you slip up, are you beating yourself up about it, or are you able to call on some understanding? Shift into a space where you can be more empathetic of yourself. This might sound like, I made the best choice I could at the time. To dwell on it now is not going to change the past. It's only going to make me feel worse. I've made changes in other aspects of my life that are moving me towards health. This, although it was a slip-up, is still a higher low than my slip-ups were in the past when I was binging on things like, let's say, chicken wings instead of vegan stir-fry. None of these being to condone any one behavior, but just to recognize that we're human beings and sometimes our reality simply just doesn't match up with our plans. If you're surrounded by people who would likely not understand your new choice, don't mention it. This might sound weird, but this is something that I've tried and seen work for myself after learning what a charged topic food is. I've gone many years without volunteering information about my diet. Usually it's only the people that I live with who actually know what I eat. I generally don't discuss my diet and typically will only end up talking about it if other raw vegan friends open the topic. I recommend this because it's enough for yourself to be taking on these new habits, let alone the hassle of trying to explain it to everyone. Transitioning can be a very vulnerable time where, although you're excited, you might not have the confidence that comes with experience on the diet. It can be overwhelming to have your friends and family picking apart all of your choices, scoffing at your diet, acting defensive about their own, then probing you for medical studies and scientific evidence of all this stuff. Be quiet, be patient, and allow the results to speak for themselves. In the meantime, you want to be gaining a supportive raw vegan community. So try finding fruitlucks or potlucks on meetup.com, check out 30 Bananas a Day for other fruit fans in your area, sign up to any of the worldwide fruit festivals, or try just mingling at farmers markets or your local raw vegan cafe. You might see that opening up to a raw vegan diet is like opening a whole can of health worms. Most people start off interested in just the food, but then become interested in health beyond diet, stuff like exercise, creative expression, mental state, spirituality. Remember that friends don't even necessarily have to be raw vegan to be supportive of you. They can be supportive in other aspects of your life with other healthier changes. They might be your fitness buddy, or somebody you share the joy of a particular art with, or somebody you can collaborate on work ideas with, or somebody you feel safe enough with to talk honestly and share your emotions with. Learn about the common pitfalls to avoid. I have 2 videos that go over the top 15 mistakes that beginners make on a raw food diet, and I'll link those here. Learn from others who have gone before you, but don't take any one person's word as gospel. Your body and your power should never be given up to a doctor or a guru or anyone else. Be your own researcher. Experiment and be as objective as possible about your results, because this will really cement a trust and an understanding of your own experience. It is so important to learn about what makes each fruit good, ripe, and tasty. I often encounter individuals who have naively been eating unripe or bland fruit, and after teaching them really simple tips, they're able to eat that same variety of fruit, but in a whole new way. Examples of these tips would be things like bananas are at peak sweetness when they're freckled with brown. These could even go farther. And you want them to be able to peel really easily. So, like that. It shouldn't snap. When people make this snap, they're not ripe, they're green bananas. Dragon fruit is sweetest when the flesh is more translucent than it is white. For some varieties of blueberries, it's the big ones that are really sweet. This kind of persimmon is more tasty and definitely sweeter when it's almost as soft as a water balloon. For some varieties of tomatoes and nectarines, they're extra sweet and flavorful when they have these sugar spots on them and a really wrinkled skin. So here's a tomato. I feel like those makeup tutorials. This is my tomato red number 5. Many apple varieties will be more flavorful when they have a warm underglow to their skin, not like a green or white coloring, more of a yellowish one. So I got 2 from the store. Here is one with more of a green or white underglow underneath the red color. Sometimes it's more subtle than that, and this one has more of a yellow underglow. So more tasty, less tasty. Learn how to use all of your senses when you're picking out fruit. Most is going to be softer to the touch, it's going to taste sweeter, it might have a fragrant smell, it might even have a particular sound in response to tapping it, and generally it's going to be deeper in color. So inquire with your local produce vendor, ask your fruity friends, or research online to learn about this kind of stuff. Keep trying new fruit because you really don't know what you're missing. Every bite of your food should blow your mind. I introduced a friend of mine to some quality tomatoes for the first time, ones that tasted like marinara sauce and ketchup. Oh, they were so good. And it seriously changed her world. No longer could she settle for the bland, conventional varieties. Most people just don't know how good fruit can be. Food texture is such a significant part of our eating experience. It can really add that extra bit of excitement to our meals. So utilizing texture is really important for those transitioning from a stimulant-heavy cooked food diet to a simpler raw vegan one. There are 2 tools that I recommend because they're inexpensive, they're easy to use, and they can really go a long way. A blender will give you access to smoothies, soups, sauces, dressings, dips, and ice cream. And a julienne peeler or a spiralizer will really bring new texture to your salads and allow you to turn vegetables like zucchini or cucumber into noodles. Most raw foodies will use both of these tools on a daily basis. Equipment like juicers, food processors, dehydrators, and fancy bowls are fun, but they're really secondary. Have alternatives to your favorite cooked foods. For example, if you loved candy, know that you can reach for dates now. Or if you used to love creamy dishes, know that you can go for avocados instead. If you loved sorbets and ice cream, try finding smoothie recipes or simply just blend frozen bananas. I'm gonna link here to the recipe ebooks that I made because there are over 100 recipes that work to do just this. They're all gourmet tasting dishes but are made with simple, low-fat, raw vegan ingredients. Because my aim is to mimic classic cooked food flavors and textures, but using super easily digestible raw fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. ultimately to satisfy cooked food cravings, but without the repercussions of physical illness and emotional guilt. So check those out if you're interested, and I love you, and I'll see you next video.